2021 is here, which means we need to set goals for this year. What are your goals? Well, I want to tell you my goals, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Hello friends, for those of you again who do not know me, my name is Chastity King and I am the author of The King's Daughter, which is a soon-to-be published book, which is an autobiography that takes you through the intimate details, obviously, of my life, which includes my addiction that I overcame, recovery, and faith. On today's video, we will be talking about goals. What are your goals for 2021? I hope that you have some, and if you do have them, have you written them down? I have, and that's what I want to share with you, because writing down goals for me is very, very important, because if I keep them up here, then they kind of sort of don't get done or reached. So, goals. My goals for 2021 are: I want to publish The King's Daughter. I want to grow my author platform. I want to write my business plan for my new business. I want to complete steps 9 and 10. For those of you who don't know what steps are, I am in a 12-step program, which is Narcotics Anonymous, and so I have a sponsor. I work the 12 steps. I just finished step 8 a few months ago. I need to complete all of them. So my goal this year is to complete steps 9 and 10. Right here in the middle, I want to transcribe or ghostwrite Billy's book. For those of you who do not know Billy, let me tell you about Billy. Billy is an ex-Satanist. Yes, I said Satanist. This dude has all hail Satan on his head. He has Lucifer written on his chin. He has 666 written on his stomach. Demons tattooed all over his body. Almost every tattoo that he has is demonic, down to a Leviathan cross between his eyes, the symbol of Cain. So, just to give you a little brief cap of Billy's story, I and a friend of mine, April, we have an outreach ministry, which is The Calling, and we go out into the streets or go out into tent sites, underneath bridges, hotels in our local community, and we just go share the love of Jesus with people. And usually we have hot biscuits in our hand and other items, like book bags, toiletries, and personal items, etc., etc. To make a long story short, on one of our outings one day, we met Billy, and he had a red mohawk then. He had no shirt on, so I seen all of the demonic tattoos. We began ministering to him, and I developed a relationship with Billy. I just started to pour Jesus into him and show him the light, because he was full of darkness. Eventually, he was arrested for attempted murder, but God used that for his good and for the glory of God. Through that arrest, he got a hold of a Bible, and Billy gave his life to God and asked God to come into his life, to guide him and to forgive him of all his sins. Billy wrote in a letter that he would write a book about his life and tell his story of evil and darkness, and that hopefully people will listen to his words and stay away from Satan. And this is coming from a man who has all hail Satan tattooed on his forehead, or on his head, and would post on his Facebook, all hail Lucifer, Satan Almighty. So that's who Billy is. So my goal for this year is to transcribe or ghostwrite Billy's book, because he is in jail right now, soon to be prison. He is writing out his life story, and he's going to be sending it to me chapters at a time, and therefore I am going to transcribe and ghostwrite the book and help him publish it, because I'm getting my own experience in the publishing world with The King's Daughter. Moving on. The other goal that I have is to make my bed every day and show up in my closet at 7 a.m. Now, guys, you may be saying, why are you making that a goal to make your bed every day? You should already be doing that. Well, that's exactly right. I should already be doing this, which is why I'm making it a goal. And I am telling you so I can be accountable. I used to do this every single day, and I have a blog post about making my bed every day. And if you want to check that out, go to my website, chastityking.com, and you can scroll through the post, and I don't know the name of it, but I can put it on the video, and go to that blog post and it will talk about making your bed every day. Now, I have been really good at this for a long time, but ever since a few months, I have not been, and I've been waking up really late, not making my bed, and I haven't really been going into my closet to spend time with Jesus. I think this may be because whenever I moved into my house in September, it was a transition and it was a big change for me. In 2019, my family's house burned down. And I had a prayer closet in that house. And in my prayer closet and in my room, that place was like saturated with worship. It was just, I could come home from work and I would walk in my room, not even my closet, but I could just walk in my room and I could just like be overwhelmed with the presence of God. It was like a place of refuge, and it was just like a sweet spot on the vine. When our house burned down, I lost that. I lost that atmosphere, and I lost that. I'm not going to say I lost the connection with God, because God is always with me and He's with me everywhere I go. I don't need a room to worship Him in. I can worship Him wherever I'm at. It doesn't matter. There was just something special about that place, and you could feel it. It was an environment that had been saturated in prayer and worship, and you could just tell that it was. And so when our house burned down, I lost that. You know, we stayed in hotels. I stayed with my grandmother for a little bit, and then me, my mother, and my stepdad, we moved into a small apartment. And I did have a closet there, and it was the only place where I even had a door at, because we didn't have doors in the whole apartment. It was like a lodge. So the only doors that we had was my closet and then the bathroom, and that was it. That closet was a lot smaller than the one I had been used to, and it didn't have a light in it either. Whenever my family rebuilt their house on the same land that our old house that burned was on, we moved in there. I had a room again with a door, and I had a closet, and it had a light in there. And so I went back into that closet, into that secret place, and I did the same thing, and I just saturated it with prayer and with worship, and just spent time with God. I was getting back into that like sweet spot with the Lord. Shortly after we moved into that house, God gave me a big old surprise. I bought my own home for the first time in my life. I moved into my very own home late September of 2020. No longer was I confined to just one room. Now I had many rooms. The problem is that whenever I looked in all the closets on the main level, they were really small and they didn't have any lights in them. And I'm like, well, I can't really make a prayer closet out of these. But there was a room downstairs in the basement, because it's fully finished, that was not the size of a regular room, but it was a lot smaller, and it didn't have any windows, but it was bigger than a closet. So I was like, I'll make that my prayer room. And I put all my little stuff in there, my flag with names on it. I put my Bibles in there, all the stuff that I like to have with me whenever I am praying and worshiping. However, I started to notice that I didn't feel that intimacy, like that closeness. I just felt like the room was too big, because I had been so used to being in a smaller space. Long story short, which is not really short because now we've made this a little bit long, but anyways, I did not realize that a closet in my hallway on the main level was perfect for a prayer closet. The reason why I didn't think it would work before is because there was, I thought, no light inside. But after investigating a little bit further, I found that there was actually a place where I could put a bulb in and it had a light switch. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be my prayer closet. I made a prayer closet for upstairs, and it is so much better than the one that I had downstairs because it's snug. It's so snug. You can go in there and you can just feel like you're in the arms of Jesus, and it's just you and him. I just recently made this because I didn't have this before. I got into this habit to where I really wouldn't go down into my prayer room. I want to get back to the place where every day I met with God in the mornings and drank my coffee and just worshiped Jesus. That is going to be my goal for this year, is to show up in my closet at 7 a.m. and just sit in the presence of God and drink my coffee. I don't have to go in there to pray. I don't have to go in there to read. I go in there and I just say, I'm here, Lord. I'm here. And just show up. And that's my goal for 2021, along with all the other goals. Now, there is something that I want to say about goals. Goals are good, and if you write them down like this, it is good too. But it's also good to write down how you are going to do those goals. So for instance, I have that I want to grow my author platform. How will I grow my author platform? Well, I will post a YouTube video once weekly, ta-da, on my YouTube channel. And then I will share the link on my Facebook. It's also good to, for instance, with this goal, to put a number so I can measure my progress. How will I know that my author platform is growing? Well, I will know that my author platform is growing when I have more subscribers subscribed to my channel. Right now, I have about 43 subscribers. I want to make a goal to have 100 subscribers by the end of 2021. With publishing The King's Daughter, you see that I have these things underneath here. In order to publish The King's Daughter, I had to hire an editor, which I have already done. After the book is edited, I will need to format the book, which I am gonna do personally. But in order to format my book, I need the tools to format my book. So I am gonna be buying Vellum, which is a formatting software. What goes into publishing a book is you need to have a plan. Like, you've got to, what's gonna happen when the book goes live or whenever it releases? You gotta have a launch plan and a marketing plan, which I have already began and written that down as well. This goal, write business plan. So in order to write my business plan, I need to know, how do I write a business plan and what does that even look like? So I have a book that is titled Author Business Plan by Joanna Penn, and I am gonna read that book so that way I will know how to write a business plan. So another goal that I don't think I mentioned is I want to write a second book. Yes, I want to write a second book, y'all. Of course, this book is not going to be as long as my autobiography. Whew, that was a lot. It's almost 300 pages. This book is just going to be like a short book, and I'm probably going to do it on gratitude, because everybody knows that I am the gratitude queen, as others have told me. I want to write a book about the famous question that I ask everybody, which is, what are you grateful for today? And so speaking of that question, I need you guys to tell me, what are you grateful for today? Put it down in the comments below. Let me know what your goals are for 2021 and let me know what you are grateful for today. I would love to hear from you. I don't just want you to watch this video, but I want to engage with you. I want to chat with you. I want to communicate with you. So in order to do that, I'm gonna need you to comment in the description below so we can talk. Thank you for watching my video, and thank you for subscribing to my channel. So if you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and hit that bell so that way you will be notified every time that I post a video, which will be once a week. All right, guys, bye.